Have you ever had that feeling, deep down, that something's missing? You can't quite name it, but it's there. Well, today we're diving into a book that claims it has the answer. Harold W. Percival's Thinking and Destiny. Now, this isn't just another self-help book. It lays out this huge, detailed system for understanding who we are, why we're here, and how our thoughts don't just influence our life, they literally build it piece by piece.
And Percival kicks things off with this idea that, hey, that feeling isn't just you. It's universal. It's this deep sense that no matter what you get, the family, the money, the success, there's still this ache that the outside world just can't seem to touch. According to this book, that feeling is the key, the very first thread we have to pull to unravel the whole mystery. So, what's the deal? The book drops this bombshell of an idea. What if your life isn't just a series of random events? What if everything that happens to you, the good and the bad, is actually the result of an unbreakable law, a law that's powered entirely by your own mind?
Okay, so why do we feel so lost? According to this system, there's a very specific reason. The part of us that's living and breathing in this body right now is, well, it's basically in exile. It's been separated from a much bigger, much more complete version of ourselves that has all the answers. So you feel incomplete because, in a very real sense, you are incomplete.
And that brings us to the absolute bedrock of this entire philosophy, the law of thought. And look, this goes so far beyond just thinking positive. This is presented as a fundamental force of the universe, just like gravity. It says that every single thing that happens in your life is a physical manifestation, an exteriorization of a thought you once had. Your thoughts are the blueprints, and your life is the building that gets built from them. No exceptions.
You know, we're all used to blaming things on chance or luck or some external force, right? Well, this system just throws all of that out the window. It says there are zero accidents, every thought you've ever created still exists, and it will keep cycling back to you as a life event until you finally deal with it. The takeaway is just staggering. You, and only you, are the maker of your destiny.
So how do we deal with these thoughts? The book calls it balancing a thought. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a cosmic debt. When you create a thought, you create a debt that has to be paid back. So life brings you these events, the exteriorizations, to give you the chance to learn what you need to learn from that thought and finally settle the account. Once it's balanced, poof, the thought is gone, the debt is paid.
Okay, so if our thoughts are that powerful, who exactly is the thinker, and who is this part of us that feels so lost and incomplete? To get that, we have to talk about something called the Triune Self. Because the you that you see in the mirror, that's only 1/3 of the whole story.
Your Triune Self is your real, complete, immortal identity. Picture it like a 3-person crew on a ship. You've got the all-knowing knower who has the cosmic map. You've got the rational thinker who plots the course. And then you have the doer who's down on the deck actually pulling the ropes and steering the ship. You need all three, and together they are the real you.
And here is the absolute key to everything. The part of you listening to my voice right now, that's the doer. We are the doer. The doer is the part of the Triune Self that gets put into a physical body, and it's driven by our feelings and our desires. It's been separated from the rest of its crew, which is exactly why we have that deep, nagging feeling that something is missing. The crew isn't complete.
Meanwhile, where are the other two, the thinker and the knower, the map holder and the navigator? They're not in the body with us. They exist in this perfect, timeless reality called the eternal. They are your true identity. They have all the knowledge. They know the way home. They're always there, but the doer, that's us, is so caught up in the storms of the physical world that it's lost the signal.
So, this whole situation, this separation, is what kicks off the doer's incredible journey. It has to cycle through life after life, creating thoughts and then balancing them, all as part of this grand cosmic school designed to help it smarten up and finally reunite with its thinker and knower.
But wait, it gets even more specific. The book says the doer itself is actually made of 12 different portions. Just look at this chart. At any one time, only 1/12, just a tiny sliver of your own doer self, is actually in a physical body. The other 11 parts are waiting in the wings for their turn to come back and pick up where the last one left off, continuing the job of balancing out your destiny.
So you have to wonder, how does all this information, all these unbalanced thoughts, get carried over from one life to the next? The book calls it the breath form. Think of it like your soul's own personal hard drive. It's this invisible blueprint that sticks with you after death, and it stores the data of all your unbalanced thoughts. That data then becomes the design for your next physical body, shaping everything from your health to your family situation. After each life, the doer goes through a whole process to sort of digest what just happened. As you can see here, it starts with a judgment, where it sees its life with total, unflinching clarity. Now, this is crucial. The hell and heaven it goes through aren't places. They are purely internal states where you are forced to relive your own worst thoughts and then experience the joy of your best ones. After some rest, the whole cycle boots up again.
So, are we just stuck on this cosmic merry-go-round forever? According to Percival, absolutely not. The whole point of explaining this massive complex system is to show us that there's a way out. He calls it the Great Way, a conscious path to break the cycle and achieve something more.
And the end goal here is, well, it's mind-blowing. We're not just talking about finding inner peace or saving your soul. The real grand purpose is to take this flawed, mortal body of ours and through sheer conscious effort, regenerate it into a perfect, immortal body. A body strong enough to finally house the entire Triune Self, the doer, the thinker, and the knower, all reunited at last in the physical world.
So, how on earth is that supposed to be possible? The book lays out a very clear 3-step path. Step 1 is the foundation. Total, ruthless honesty and truthfulness in your own thinking. Step 2 moves into the physical, a special breathing technique to purify and literally rebuild the body. And those 2 steps together make the third possible, conscious thinking, where you use your mind to gain complete mastery over yourself and finally reconnect with your higher self.
Thinking and Destiny is a massive, challenging read, no doubt about it. But it presents this complete, interlocking vision of reality where we are not victims of circumstance. We are powerful creators, bound only by the laws of our own thoughts. And it all leaves you with one final, earth-shaking question. What if the true power of your mind isn't just to make your life a little better, but to conquer death itself?